The first half of the year is now officially over. We have just had the monthly close and the quarterly close, and now we are going into Q3, the third quarter, and the remainder of the rest of the year. And that gives us some good stuff to look at because it means we had the monthly and the quarterly close, and that gives us some more insights. Spoiler alert, I think we're still going a lot lower in the second half of 2026. Okay, so let's dive straight in here. Let me start out with the 3-month chart. So every candle here represents 3 months worth of data. And you can see we've had 3 consecutive, so 9 consecutive months here of a downwards price action. That's pretty nasty. Now, the good news is we are making progress in the bear market, and we are probably more than halfway through this bear market. But the bad news is that probably we still have the worst final capitulation ahead of us, because that's just how bear trends tend to work. They end with a final capitulation where someone blows up or multiple people blow up, right? We had that in the previous cycles. In 2022, it started out with Terra Luna that collapsed. We had the 3 Arrows Capital hedge fund that collapsed. Voyager, Celsius, the lending platforms that went bust and appeared fraudulent. Then we had FTX, the final collapse of the whole bear market. In this year, in 2026, we have not yet had any major players blow up. In fact, we've only seen the biggest players continue to double down on their bad decisions of buying high, right? Like we've seen Saylor continue to buy throughout this whole year. Meanwhile, he's down like $13 billion or $15 billion. And this is what we see. We see more and more people still buying. We haven't seen a major scandal. We haven't seen an exchange go bust. We haven't seen any of these platforms like, like fraudulent or anything like that. It hasn't happened yet, and I think it's coming. So basically, this previous 3-month candle that just closed, this looks incredibly bearish to me. You can see we have a massive wick to the upside, and they pushed it all the way back down, and it closed pretty much at the very bottom of this wick. So typically what we'd expect is we don't get back above the high of the wick, if we even get there. So 83K is the absolute maximum I would expect. But even then, maybe we don't even get back above the body, which is about 68,000 here, purely looking at the 3 monthly close. And it's also possible that we just drop straight from here. And I think the target at the least here is the 50 SMA. Is about $28,000. But I do think, like I've said before throughout this year, I think it's possible that we might actually sweep the lows of 2022 bear market over here. You can see, and that would be below $16,000, which means this market could still drop 70 to 80% from current levels on Bitcoin. And if that happens on Bitcoin, I don't know what happens to Ethereum and Solana and the rest of the market. It would get very ugly. And I don't know what it's going to take for that to happen. That always ends up playing out. So if this is going to drop that low, something is going to happen, right? It might be Saylor forced selling all his Bitcoin, causing a chain reaction, causing other digital asset treasuries to also start selling, liquidation cascades. Maybe it's the licensing stuff that starts to play a role. Like now, starting July 1st, MiCA in Europe goes live, which is basically strong regulation, meaning that there's only several licensed exchanges that are allowed to operate within Europe. And those exchanges come with all sorts of restrictions, like probably not being allowed to use USDT. I think so. A lot of them work in USDC. They have very limited perps, if any, so very low leverage, very little leverage. So that changes the landscape completely to tens of millions of people in Europe who might have been trading crypto on exchanges with leverage. And not that they can't do that still. I mean, there's all sorts of alternatives. You can still use VPNs. You can use decentralized exchanges and stuff like that. But it does add another layer of friction and restriction to this whole market, which is already so scammy and has a bad name. And, the more friction combined with all of that, there's probably going to be people who are going to be like, why even get involved in this market? The risk isn't worth it. It's too difficult. I might as well just stick to traditional finance, to my stocks in my regulated brokerage account. I can trade my leverage, and why even mess with this crypto stuff? And again, all those factors combined, that with the price going lower, eventually someone blows up I think we're potentially going lower. Now, does that mean you full in max shorted at $58,000? No, obviously not, right? Especially not on leverage. There have been opportunities to short even this pump to 50 or 83,000 in May. I do think on the lower time frames, I will zoom in a little bit. There is chance for a bounce. I mean, they could squeeze at 63, 64, 65 to run out some shorts. And if you've been following the last couple of videos I've made recently, I have said on the lower time frames, there is possibility that there is a bounce. But again, I'm starting here, this 3-month candle, it looks bearish to me. So we have the 1 month candle over here. Let's zoom out and you can see same thing. Very bearish candle. That's like one of the bigger candles that we've had. Not the biggest one, but pretty much up there in terms of like a massive red candle. And you can see it actually closed slightly just below the 200 SMA. This is the 50 on monthly. It's the 200 on weekly. And you can see if we lose this, and that's what I've been talking about. You get these deviations, right? It can only go so far above and then it snaps back, goes above and then it snaps back. We have not yet had a significant deviation below this 200 SMA, and it's very possible that that happens. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, that I don't know what happens here. Maybe it chops a little bit, but it's very possible we get the deviation here and then eventually maybe snap back to it. So I think we can get the deviation to the downside, and that just adds further kind of confluence to my idea that we are going still a lot lower. I would say we're probably going somewhere between 30,000 and 15,000 before the end of the year. So let's see what happens here. And sure, while we could bounce here from like 58, 57, we could get another $5,000 or $10,000 bounce. I would doubt 15,000, but sure, it's still possible, and it wouldn't change a single thing. And the risk with that is, like, if you're buying here, even if you're buying spot, you still have a risk of potentially 70% drawdown. Like, if this goes worst case, and this drops down to like 15,000, anything you're buying here, you're losing 75% on in a drawdown, and who knows for how long? For months? Maybe a year, 2-3 years. So that's the problem with buying here. You just can't massively size, because what are you going to do? Where's your invalidation? If you buy here at 58,000 and you start buying with size, where are you going to cut it? 50, 40, 30? Then you're taking a massive loss already, right? So and if you're buying on leverage, sure, you can look for technical setups on lower time frames and risk an amount that you're comfortable with if you're playing the long side, but it's difficult. At the same time, you also can't really be shorting here into 58,000, because it could bounce $10,000, and then on any short with leverage, well, then you have a risk there too. So we're in a position here, in a phase in the bear market. We're more than 50% into the traditional 4-year bear cycle, where you can't really size with long and you can't really size with the short, and you just have to be patient. And you can take trades, sure. You can take calculated trades, but that, again, then you're just managing your risk, and you're risking 1 or 2 or 5 or 10% of your trading account, whatever you want to do on a single trade, where, you know, there's a risk that the stop gets hit and then you lose that and then you go into the next trade. That's fine. But you can't fully allocate here, in my opinion. I wouldn't want to, because there is still that downside risk. In terms of time, we still have, I would say, 4 to 6 months ahead of us of this bear market, if we were comparing the previous cycles, assuming it repeats, right? Nobody knows, but let's assume it repeats, because so far it has repeated. And we're looking at anywhere at the earliest October and probably November or December for a bottom. And that means in 4 to 6 months, if the worst is still ahead of us, we could still drop 50, 60, 70%. So that's basically the outlook. Nothing has changed for me. I think things are pretty bearish here. Low time frame, again, like I said, I'll make some more videos throughout the week. Low time frame, it is completely possible that we do see some sort of bounce, purely just to squeeze shorts. But again, at the same time, the lower we go, at some point, something is going to break. At some point, someone is getting close to throwing in the towel, and when that threshold gets hit, when it drops low enough, they're going to pull the trigger, or they're going to get forced to sell, or they're going to get liquidated with a hard stop. We don't know who. It could be whales. It doesn't have to be Sailor specifically. Someone is going to get wrecked the lower the prices go in a big way, and that someone is going to cause a big sell-off in the market, and then we get another capitulation. So I think it's worth being patient. If you have been following me since last year and you have been able to get out of the bull or out of these markets as close to the top as possible, above 100,000, 110, 120,000, you'd be sitting very, very comfortable now. If you're just waiting to buy the bear market lows, I'm also doing that with spot. I'm still just looking towards, at the minimum, October, but maybe November or December. And even then, I think we're probably going to get months and months and months of sideways to reaccumulate before any sort of new bull. Like there's absolutely no hurry for any sort of new bull market, in my opinion. I think this cycle is just going to be a much longer bear market and reaccumulation period because of the fallout that I expect from when big players get liquidated. It's just going to really destroy the morale, and it's going to take a long time to reaccumulate. Combine that with all the scams in the altcoins and the meme coins, it's absolutely gross. Like, what serious person looks at this crypto market and be like, this is a real thing? Like, this is a joke. This whole market is a joke. Bitcoin might be the only legitimate thing. Stable coins, obviously. All the other stuff is just scam and crime and fraud, rug pulls, value extraction. And the more that goes on, it's like, well, why would you want to do that? Especially since there's such a massive raging bull market in the stock markets, in AI, in robotics, in memory, and everything that's been going on in the past year. And crypto is down only. Like, why would you even want to invest in crypto, especially given the risks that are added to it? So it's not only investing risk of something going up or down, it's the risk of getting hacked, it's the risk of storing stuff, the taxation, the regulation, the possible rug pulls, the fraud. Like, what is the upside? It's not like coins are doing, like 100x anymore, like in 2017. So I would imagine that a lot of people with serious money would kind of think the same. They'd be like, why would I touch this market? Sure, I'll buy Bitcoin, maybe start averaging in at this price, but maybe not. Maybe we wait for 40,000 or 30,000 or 20,000, and then we start to see some money flowing back in, I think. But probably only into Bitcoin. I feel very pessimistic about the altcoins simply because it's just scam. We've seen that this cycle. Like, it's like 99% scam. So yeah, I think Bitcoin survives. I think it will go on a massive run in future, but I think there's a very real possibility we still go a lot lower, potentially below 15,000, and potentially this is going to take another 2 or 3 years before we see any sort of major bull market. In terms of the bear market, sure, the absolute low could come this year, but we could spend another 1 or 2 years trading sideways while this whole market bleeds out before anything starts to get back interesting. So that is pretty much the big picture. I know it sounds a little bit pessimistic. It's just the reality of how I see the market. So far, I've been right. Since last year, I called the top around 120,000, and so far it's been right. And I will call the bottom again. I will let you know when I think we are at a bottom, and that will be the time when I will be looking to deploy in spot into long-term bags. And for now, that isn't the case, and we can still trade. That's the thing, right? Like, even though this is boring, we can still make trades on the lower time frames, right? We can still short stuff, we can still long stuff. We have to be a little bit patient. I am expecting a little bit of a bounce actually on the shorter term. You can see there's bullish RSI divergences here across this whole thing, and I do think, like, even let me see if I can draw this here. You can see this whole thing here is a big bullish RSI divergence. I've also shown you with the central command trading terminal. This looks like it does want to bounce. So I would imagine we get a squeeze here. It's unlikely that it just breaks down unless Sailor decides to sell right now. We probably get a bit of a squeeze. I would say 63 to 65 is decent, and then we have to see what happens from there. Do we go back down from there, or do we go higher? So I would imagine probably in July we probably see like 63 to 65. And I also think after that it's very possible to see 50,000 or lower. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And if you need a place to trade, I personally trade on Bluefin Exchange. We've got a really great deal. If you sign up using my referral link, you can get up to $9,400 back every month in USDT on your trading volume. So if you're trading with size, that's a considerable amount. You obviously get lower fees and stuff too. And we do regular giveaways like iPhone giveaways and stuff like that. Bluefin does that for everyone who signs up to the exchange and trades using my link in the description down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.